We're starting it off with legal news in the NFL. Sources say the Dallas Police Department has determined Broncos cornerback Aqib Talib shot himself in the lower right leg back in June. Initially, Talib told police he was shot by someone else. WFAA is reporting no charges will be filed against Talib and the case is closed. The NFL is investigating and he could face a suspension. Skip, what should the NFL do?
Before I launch on this topic, I want to make this very clear. I am a huge fan of Aqib Talib, the player and the playmaker, and I have always been back to his days at Kansas when I lauded him on the show I used to do. That's not what we're talking about right now. Even though, reportedly, he will not be charged for the incident you just described, I believe that the NFL now has to step in and suspend Aqib Talib for at least 4 games, and I would be better off and fine with 6 games. Minimum 4, I'm great with 6. And I'm pretty sure Commissioner Goodell will look hard at the track record of Aqib Talib and finally conclude that enough is enough, because Aqib Talib has quite a resume of law breaking and rule breaking and conduct detrimental to and unbecoming of the National Football League. So just for perspective, give me a minute here.
Go ahead.
I'm even going to go back to his high school and college days, which obviously don't count as NFL days, but just to give you a big picture perspective on Aqib's track record. His senior year of high school, he got 2 years of probation for breaking into to a house. At Kansas University, where he was a star, he had multiple suspensions, and he admitted to testing positive for marijuana on 3 different occasions. Now, fast forward to NFL. 2008 Rookie Symposium, he got in a very public fistfight with a fellow rookie named Corey Boyd. No big deal, but it was a deal. It's on his record. 2009, Aqib Talib, arrested for assaulting a cab driver in St. Petersburg, charged with resisting arrest and simple battery, suspended for only 1 game. 2011, Aqib Talib charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon after an altercation with the live-in boyfriend of his sister. He was accused of firing shots on a public street, but charges were dropped because there was insufficient evidence, so obviously no suspension. 2012, Aqib Talib suspended 4 games for violating the PED policy. Last season, suspended 1 game for poking Dwayne Allen in the eye with what appeared to be malicious intent. Last April in Dallas, Dallas police looked into an alleged aggravated assault involving Talib outside a nightclub, but the investigation was suspended because of insufficient evidence. So now we come to the current situation. Shot himself in the leg, the Dallas police have concluded. So in Texas, carrying a weapon into a place that sells alcohol is a felony. WFAA TV, which has been all over this story from the start, reported that Aqib had been that night in a strip club, but Dallas police finally concluded they could not confirm that report. Also in the state of Texas, possessing a weapon while intoxicated is a misdemeanor, which could get you up to a year in county jail. No charge filed. In Texas, discharging a weapon in a public place is a Class B misdemeanor, which could get you up to 6 months in county jail. No charge filed. So I'm not sure how he's skating on those 3 potential charges in Texas, but it brings me back to our commissioner. I just believe that even though in this case, Roger Goodell can't just react to charges filed, react to what the law enforcement has found or what they're about to do, he can't piggyback law enforcement in this case. I think given all that I just read to you, given the track record, given the scope, all the conduct detrimental, that Roger Goodell has to act on his own, act independently. 4 games minimum, 6 games would be better for me, in my view.
Skip, the NFL has a gun policy, and it states you are not allowed to bring a weapon on NFL facility operated by the NFL. So you cannot take it to work with you. You cannot take it to a stadium with you. Also, if you are representing the National Football League at an event, although they might not own the building, if you are in representation of them, you're not allowed to have a firearm. So he did not violate that. The Dallas PD, after all those things you listed, discharging a firearm in public, carrying a gun while intoxicated, maybe because he said he was shot in a park or something, maybe even filing a false police report. They found nothing wrong. They filed no charges.
Correct.
So now you want the NFL to be a higher authority than the people that are sworn to uphold and protect the law. You want the NFL to usurp them in what they found in their investigation.
I absolutely
It says, you know what? I get in 2016, the new word is optics. How does it look? The reigning NFL defending champ, one of the faces of the national football, because he's in the running for Defensive Player of the Year at the quarter pole. He, Von Miller, Aaron Donald. You know what? Because this is going to look bad, you know what? We really should do something. Because I get it. I don't think he should be suspended. I do not. Because under the letter of the law, he didn't do anything wrong in the NFL. Now, I get it. They're going to come up maybe some conduct detrimental or maybe personal conduct. They're going to find a way because they want to appease, because they've seen what happened. The law, they didn't charge Ray Rice. They didn't charge Greg Hardy. And, you know, the NFL says, well, we are higher authority than the police department or the criminal justice system. So we're going to take matters into our own hands. Skip, I have a problem with this. I have a problem with the NFL thinking they're the end-all, be-all in anything that goes wrong because you play up under this shield, up under this umbrella. They can usurp what transpires in the criminal justice system. That's not right, because that would be no longer fair if somebody did an illegal crackback or hit a quarterback in the knee. The police would say, you know what, that's assault and battery. So although you're not fined, although you're not suspended, we're going to charge you. That's what they're doing, Skip. They should not have the authority to usurp what's going on. The police department found nothing wrong. They have more pertinent knowledge than the NFL, because the NFL is going to have to go back to them and look over their notes and see that they missed anything. They're going to talk to Aqib Talib. He's going to tell them exactly what he told the police. So now, but the NFL is going to take it upon themselves, because the optics and what they want their sponsors and what the people that's watching the National Football League, they want them to assume that we have a hold on this, that our players, and I get it. Sometimes being a professional athlete can be a blessing and a curse. Because sometimes, you know, people, you know, you get to move to the front of the line. You get the best seat in the steakhouse. You get, you know, privileges that you wouldn't normally get. But you also get held to a very high standard at times when people want to make a name on your back. So, but I don't like this, Skip. I don't think he should be suspended. I believe he might, because you see the Josh Brown situation, he wasn't charged with the domestic violence with his wife, and there was reported 20 incidences. They suspended him for 1 game. So if I'm Aqib Talib, if I get anything more than a game, we're going to have problems. And I'm going to the Supreme Court.